Jessica celebrated her second anniversary with us this month. And during that time, she's able to come in and capture the hearts of our students, our staff, and our entire Cedarville community. And I know many people here have had now Dr. Lundquist as a teacher, and sometimes now their students, their children have come back and also have Dr. Lundquist as a
teacher. Maria, our Teacher of the Year. Elizabeth Gemmis has been with us for 16 years in Montville Township School District, but she's actually in education over 24 years, starting as a high school English teacher. And she brings that level of expertise in literacy to her lessons in the Media Center. Mrs. DeMaria has spent 20 years in our district, 19 years in her current position. She's dually certified as an elementary teacher and a reading specialist. All of her instruction is research-driven. She reads textbooks and she shares them with her colleagues, and she also has mentored her two colleagues in kindergarten.
I would like to introduce, first I'm going to do my educational services professional, Mr. Matt Natale. Matt has been in education for the past 11 years, 2 years at Hilldale as our reading specialist. When I ask some teachers, when I say Matt's name, what do you think of? I've gotten responses that he is selfless, always willing to help. But the most common was that it feels like he's been here forever. And our Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Courtney Strelsky. Now you have to please excuse me, we usually call her Mrs. Ski. So that was like my big hump to get over. Strelsky. Mrs. Ski has been at Hilldale for 15 years. She's been 8 years in 3rd grade. I asked Mrs. Ski's students, past and present, what they thought, what words came to their mind when they thought of her. They said that she was always there for them. They loved how she made learning fun, her songs, and of course, Willy Wonka.
Good evening, everyone. Congratulations once again to all of our winners. Our first award winner is Chris Auden. Mrs. Auden has been a 2nd grade teacher at William Mason for the past 7 years, and she's been in education for the past 12, all I believe at William Mason. We spoke to some of our students the other day, and they were kind enough to offer some feedback as to why they were so proud and pleased that their teacher was named the Teacher of the Year. So they offered a couple of the following. Number one, she's gentle and never yelled at us. Our second award winner is Mrs. Wigley. Mrs. Wigley is our school nurse, and I'm not sure if any of you have seen a school nurse's office during lunchtime at an elementary school. It's much like a city hospital on a Friday night. There's some bumps and bruises, some legitimate and not so legitimate. Some students looking to get out of tests and quizzes and some other school-related activities that they may not find so enjoyable. But Liz is always kind and compassionate. She's very responsive to each and every student.
Members of the board, it is always my honor to introduce Woodmont's Educational Specialist of the Year and Teacher of the Year. Our Educational Services Professional of the Year is our guidance counselor, Mr. Doug Steck. Staying in the vein of elementary school, we created an acrostic in honor of Doug. So S, steadfast in his commitment to Woodmont stakeholders. Now it's my honor to introduce our Teacher of the Year, Ms. Debbie Jarvie. Debbie, a first grade teacher, a 33-year veteran teacher. J, joyful in her work with Woodmont stakeholders. A pleasure to always
here tonight. Seth Miller and Lisa Tobin Cook on their way up. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our Teacher of the Year, Mr. Seth Miller, who teaches special ed at Lazar. As a second career, Seth brings with him not only life experiences from the business world, but also first-hand experience having raised a daughter who also went through Lazar. She brings much experience in addressing the needs of students, assisting parents, working with staff to ensure our students' success. She's patient, kind, truly cares for her students.
It's remarkable how well Dr. Lawler prepares you to be a great writer. That's the one thing that comes across for the students who experience her classes, how well they feel prepared as writers in their future endeavors. So for that, I'm sure they're eternally grateful, and I'm certainly grateful as well. Our education services professional, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Donald Hayburn, our athletic trainer. Don Hayburn has been, I hope I get this correct, he's been part of the high school since September of 1986. All right, good, I think I got that right. He is a tremendous asset to our athletic program. Just before I walked up here to this Board of Ed meeting, I was in my office, and I hope he doesn't mind, but I'll borrow the words of the conversation I was having. One particular coach and I were speaking about Don Hayburn and how much he offers to this school. And what stood out, there's so many different qualities that we can discuss, but the thing that makes Don unique, the thing that makes him a tremendous asset to our students, is the relationship that he develops with the athletes and their families. So, our teacher of the year, I don't even know where to begin when I start talking about Miss Heather Einstein. I hope I get this correct, she's been with us since September of 2007. Okay. Heather received a large number of nominations this year for Teacher of the Year. Quite frankly, Heather receives a large number of nominations every year for Teacher of the Year.